Welcome. Today we're going to talk about moving outside of your comfort zone. So I want you to think for a moment about when the last time was that you did something that terrified you, that was completely out of your comfort zone. See, we all have this little cocoon that we live in pretty much, where things are comfortable and we know exactly what's going to happen, and we can move around with confidence. There are no surprises there. But if you're tuned into your inner guidance, you might find that there's adventure waiting for you, or something that you feel compelled to do that's a bit outside your comfort zone. It kind of puts a crack in that cocoon and helps you to see your world and its possibilities in a whole new light. So creating the world outside of your cocoon has to begin with gratitude. As we practice, I'm going to ask you what you've harvested so far in your life, what you have to be grateful for, who you have to be grateful for that's helped you to get there. I'm going to ask you to think about what you want to leave behind, what you want to cull and clear out, and also what you want to plant seeds for and make way for growth. This requires you to be open and present, because life has a way of sending the perfect message at the perfect time, but we have to be listening. And yoga is really helpful with this part. It creates a sensitivity and an openness and awareness that you take with you off the mat in your physical body and into the rest of your life. So right where you are, take a seat, close down your eyes. And like we have in every class, just begin by listening to the sound of your own breathing. Find something that you love about the feeling of an inhale, the texture, the temperature, the feeling on the inside. And as you inhale and fill up, when you exhale, see if you can stay full on the inside as you just soften the outside. And this combination of bright and clear like a diamond inside and soft and receptive outside is the perfect balance. The perfect way for you to move forward and create the rest of your life. Just allow your eyes to softly open. And we're going to start in child's pose today. So take your knees a little bit wider, keep your big toes together, and bow forward. You can choose your hand position this time. So hands can be forward. Sheila's folding them under her forehead. You can take them back and touch your feet like we have in some of the other classes. But as you're here now, before we start moving, I want you to think about what you've harvested in your life. What are you proud of? What have you accomplished? What achievements have you had? As you take a moment to think about what you're proud of, when you breathe, let yourself be full. So when you feel proud of something, generally you stand taller, you feel fuller on the inside. So let yourself have that experience right now. Come forward to hands and knees, and we'll move through cat-cow pose. So exhale, arch up like a cat, like a scared cat, so you push your lower back up toward the ceiling, and then inhale and go the opposite way. So drop your spine gently, look up, and then keep going back and forth. So on the every time you exhale, go up like a cat. Every time you inhale, reverse it. So you're flexing your spine in the cat tilt, and you're extending your spine when you do the opposite. And then take a moment to kind of freestyle. So again, you can do little swirly movements with your spine. You can move your hips around. You can do whatever feels good. And then walking your knees back a little bit. Lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. And go ahead and have a little wiggle here too. So you can bend your knees, press one heel down at a time. Anything goes really, just whatever your body feels like it needs in the moment. Yeah. And then come back to a place where you can be a bit more still. Good. And step your right foot up between your hands. So just a lunge. Make sure your back foot's far enough that you can bend your front knee into a square. Perfect. Stay on the tips of your fingers like you are. Take a big breath in and lengthen through your spine. So make your spine longer. And as you exhale, push your mat apart with your legs. Yeah, so you're going to try and push your front thigh bone forward and your back thigh bone back every time you exhale. Do it again. Big, full breath in. Exhale, stretch your leg bones longer. So you're not really moving physically, but there's a lot of movement happening on the inside. Next inhale, step your front foot back to down dog. Good, and then second side. So step your left foot forward between your hands. And again, if your left foot doesn't come up between your hands like these guys do so easily, you can take your hand and just bring it forward. Make your back leg strong, take a big breath in, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale and soften your upper back. Exhale, every time you exhale, stretch your leg bones in opposite directions, like you're just trying to push your mat apart. Make your leg bones longer. Good. Next inhale, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Come to standing forward bend. So Sheila's got her legs straight, Elle's got hers bent a little bit, and that's what's appropriate for their bodies. Yeah, Elle, you can touch the ground. There you go. And then bringing your hands to your hips, draw your shoulder blades together on your back. So hands to your hips, good. And then shoulder blades together. Inhale, come up from the back of your heart. Yeah, reach your arms all the way up. Bring your palms together. And then exhale, bring your hands back down in front of your heart. Well done. Big breath in now, stretch your arms out. Exhale, bow forward, touch the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Elle's got her hands to her shins, heart forward, bum back. Nice. Exhale and bow and step back to down dog. Good. Take a couple of breaths here. And you'll notice Elle's bending her knees a little bit. It's because her hamstrings and her back are a little bit tighter. And that's fine for her. This is what's perfect for her body. Inhale now, come forward to plank. So it's like the top of a push-up. Walk your feet back a little bit, Elle. And bend your knees, Elle, and release them to the floor. 2 different ways to do this here. Take a breath, and then exhale and lower. Bring your chest all the way down. Stretch back through your legs. Press your feet down. Inhale, cobra. So come up a little bit. Keep a little bend in your arms so that you can bring the heads of your arm bones back more easily. Yeah. Take a breath here, heart forward. And then exhale, soften the tops of your shoulders and soften your face. Good. Next exhale, go back to down dog. As you inhale, step your right foot up between your hands. And again, a nice long lunge. Just step your back leg back a little bit further. Bring your right hand to your hip, and then start to twist to the right. So you're going to come over here so your heart faces this way. Yeah, take your shoulder back more, and then stretch your arm up. Yeah, palm facing this way. Take a big breath in, get full and bright on the inside, and then exhale and twist open a little bit more. Good, do it again. Big full breath here. Exhale, big twist. Nice. Now touch the ground, this time inside the front foot. So both hands on the inside of your front foot. Take your back knee to the mat. So back knee down. And walk your hands over to the left a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. Elle, walk your back foot back just a little bit more so it's back like Sheila's is. It's your back knee. Yeah, there you go. Good. Now, with your back toes tucked under, take a breath in and lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and bring your elbows down to the floor. So if your elbows don't reach the floor easily, you can take a pillow or anything you have at home and just put them underneath your elbows. That'll raise the floor up a little bit and make this a little bit easier. So you take a breath here and lengthen your spine here. Walking your elbows forward helps a little bit with that. And then as you exhale, soften. So you're bright and full in the front and soft and yielding and open in the back. Good. Now come back up to straight arms. Bend your left knee and reach back with your right hand and grab your foot. So opposite hand back, grab your foot and pull it in. Yeah, pull it in for the twist. Now take a breath here and lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, push your foot into your hand and do a little back bend and open it up. That's it, good. Big breath in again. Exhale, push your foot into your hand and open up. Good, one more time, big breath here. Exhale, push back and open up. Good. Release your foot, tuck your back toes, and then step back to down dog. Good. Big breath in. Big exhale. All right, left foot forward now, second side. So step your left foot up between your hands. That's it. Bring your left hand to your hip and twist to the left. Yeah, take your left shoulder back and then stretch your left arm up, palm facing this way. Beautiful. So big breath in again, and then exhale and twist. So you use your breath to create more fullness on the inside, the inhale, and then on the exhale, you go a little deeper in the twist. And Sheila's added a little back bend here, which is perfect too. Good. Inhale and touch the ground, this time inside your front foot. So both hands on the inside of your left foot and take your right knee down. That's it. Walk your hands over to the right a little bit more and forward a little bit. Then take a breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and come down to the floor. And again, you could use something under your elbows. Inhale and lengthen your spine. And exhale and soften your upper back. Good. Now come back up to your hands. Bend your back knee. And reach back with your left hand and grab your right foot. So grab it and bring it in. Good. And then again, big breath, make your spine long. And as you exhale, push your foot back and curl back, open it up a little bit. So you curl back behind your heart. Take a breath in again. And then exhale and curl back. Push your foot back, but hold it steady. One more breath like that, big full breath. Exhale. Good. Release and touch the ground. This time step all the way back to plank. So like the top of a push-up. L will be on knees to show that. Take a breath here. Exhale and lower down. Next inhale, cobra pose. So come forward and up. That's it. And again, keep a little bend in your elbows. So it's not so much about how high you go here, but about how broad you can stay across the front. Take a breath in. And then when you exhale, just soften the tops of your shoulders. Yeah, let them relax like that. Good. Exhale and release back down. And with your next exhale, downward facing dog. And again, take a big breath in through your nose and exhale. Yeah. Step your right foot up between your hands, Parshvakonasana. So right foot up, left heel down to the floor, and bring your right elbow to your right leg. Good. Just check your back foot and make sure that it's lined up with the short side of your mat. Take your top hand to your hip, draw your shoulder back, and then just reach again, bicep up and over your ear. Perfect. Take a big breath in, full and bright. And as you exhale again, extend down through your feet and use that to open up more. One more breath like that, big full breath. Exhale, push and stretch open. Good. Inhale, touch the ground. And step back, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, second side. Step your left foot up between your hands. Sink your right heel down to the floor. Bring your left elbow to your left leg. Yeah, good. Take your hand to your hip, draw your shoulder back, and then stretch your arm up, bicep over your ear. Take a big breath in now, full all the way up into your heart, and then exhale and push through your feet and stretch open more. Every time you inhale, fuller and brighter. And every time you exhale, more anchored as you stretch open. Good, touch the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Right foot forward again. Same thing again to set up. So right foot forward, left heel down, right elbow to your leg. That's it. Step your back foot halfway in. Reach for the ground with your right hand in front of your right foot and lift your left leg up. So lift it up as high as your hips, straighten your right leg. Yeah, and keep your toes super awake on your top foot. Now top shoulder back and stretch your top arm up. One big full breath here. Good, and as you exhale, from the center of you, just shine like a star. Beautiful. Bend your standing leg, touch the ground, and step back to down dog. Yeah, good job. Left leg forward, second side. So step your left foot up between your hands, sink your right heel down, bring your left elbow to your left leg, and just pause. Yeah, good. Now step your right foot halfway in, balance on your left hand and your left foot. So hand comes ahead of your foot and lift your right leg up. As soon as your toes leave the ground, wake them up, spread them out, perfect. Top shoulder back, now top arm up. Take a big full breath in. Good, and then exhale and extend out in all directions, perfect. Bend your standing leg, touch the ground, and step back, downward facing dog. Release your knees to the mat, child's pose. So now as we pause here, I want you to think if there's anyone in your life who's been an integral part or an integral part of your harvest, somebody that's helped you to be where you are today, to be who you are today. As you bring that person to your mind. As you think about the person who's helped you and who you're grateful for, bring to mind a way that you can express that gratitude. How can you say thank you? Reach your hands forward if they're not, and then stretch your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Elle will drop her knees down, exhale and lower to the floor. Inhale again, cobra pose, one more time. So heart forward and up, a little bend in the elbows. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your right knee to your right wrist, pigeon pose. So you slide your right knee forward to your right wrist, slide your left leg back, make sure your hips are square, and then go back. So again, Elle, don't lean onto your right hip, come back this way more. Everything goes this way. There you go. Bend your back leg, reach back with your left hand and grab your left foot and bring it in. So we do this one often. So grab around the foot. Elle, you could grab around the back of your foot like this, and then you've got more leverage to pull it in. Yeah, bring it all the way to your hip if you can. Perfect. Take a big breath in and lift through your heart. That's it. And then as you exhale, push your foot back, but resist with your hand. So to open the front of your leg a little bit more. Do it again. Big breath in. Exhale, push your foot back. Sheila's going to hook her elbow around her foot in the back here and lift her arm up and just clasp her hands overhead. This is called mermaid pose. It's a variation here. And she can do the same actions. Breath in, lift your heart. And as she exhales, she can push her foot back into her hand and create more opening in the front of her back leg. Good. Now carefully release either way. Touch the ground lightly and bow forward. Stack your fists or your palms and let your head rest there. And if you get a little bit longer in your side, in the waistline, by moving your elbows forward, you'll feel a little bit more opening in the back of the heart, the space behind the heart. Walk your hands back up. And then stretch back to down dog. Second side, so left knee to your left wrist. Walk your right leg back. That's it. Hips square, bend your back knee, and reach back with your right hand this time and grab your right foot. So bring it in through all the way through its range of motion towards your hip, and then create a little resistance. So both these girls are pretty open in their quads, and they're bringing their foot right in close to their hip. That might not happen for you, and that's okay. You're bringing it as far as you can. Then you take a breath in, and as you exhale, press your foot back. So you're creating resistance. And then Sheila, again, is going to hook her toes in her elbow and bring her other arm up and clasp for mermaid pose. Essentially, both poses are doing the same thing. Big breath in again. Exhale, push your foot back and hold it steady. Nice. Now carefully release. Yeah, and even though your back foot wants to kind of slam down to the ground, don't let it. Bow forward. That's it. Hips square. It's really natural for your body in this position to want to go over to the left side, the side of the front hip. So you just have to be thinking about where you are in space. Use your hands to push yourself back up. And then swing your back leg around to the front. So you're going to come to seated with your legs facing forward. You sit cross-legged. Yeah, just easy cross. So Sukhasana, so like Sheila's doing with her feet slid underneath her knees a little bit more. So just a gentler cross-legged position. Take your right hand to the floor right next to you. That's it. Take a breath in and stretch your left arm up. So reach it up. As you exhale, bend your right elbow and bend to the right side. Yeah, palm facing your head more, Elle. That's it. Yeah. And once you start to lean over, push your weight back into your left hip a little bit more. So use your hand to push weight back to the other side. Take a breath in, and then exhale and soften over to the side. Good. Inhale, come up, and then go the other way. So take your hand to the floor, left hand to the floor. You can slide it out or bend your elbow. Yeah. And then once you get down, push your weight back into your right hip so you've got weight in both hips. Take a breath into your right side, and then exhale and soften over to the left. Good. Inhale and come up. Take your right hand to the floor, left hand to your right leg. So outside of your knee. Take a breath in and lengthen your spine. And then exhale and twist to the right. And again, making your legs really strong. Squeeze them in. Big full breath. Exhale and twist. Good. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale and twist. Yeah. Inhale, untwist. And switch legs. So take your left hand to your right leg, right hand on the floor beside you. Big breath in again. Exhale and twist to the right. Good. One more time here. Big full breath in. Exhale and twist. And actually one more time. Inhale. And then exhale and twist. Good. Inhale and untwist. Take your hands forward and come back to child's pose. So big toes touching, knees wide, just wide enough that your belly fits kind of between your inner legs there. This time in child's pose, turn your palms to face the ceiling. Yeah, as best you can. Now I want you to think, what do you want to leave behind? Is there anything in your life that it's just time for you to let go of? The palms up is kind of symbolic of a release. So you want to make space for what you're going to harvest in the future. Sometimes you have to clear out the garden, clear out the weeds, in order to make room. So what is there that it's just time for you to release? And you can think of it in terms of a harvest or a garden as releasing it back into the earth to be absorbed. What do you want to let go of? And you can flip your hands over to help yourself back up. Okay, so lying on your backs, bend your knees, bring your feet in close to your hips. And then with an inhale, lift your hips away from the floor. That's it. And then rock from side to side. So you rock to your right and tuck your left shoulder in, rock onto your left shoulder, tuck your right shoulder underneath more. That's it. And then clasp your hands. So if you can interlace your fingers, it's okay. Just bring them close together as you can. Walk your feet over to the right. So they're going to go in opposite directions because they're facing away from each other, and that's fine. And just take your feet as far as they want to go. So you're doing a little side bend to the right. And then once you get there, gently lower your hips down over your arm. And again, so this way a little bit more. That's it. So they come to the floor beyond your arm. Perfect. So with your hips over your arm now, just relax. Every time you exhale, release your hips, let them be a little bit heavier. So you get a little passive opening through your chest and a little side bend at the same time. Inhale and lift your hips up, and then walk them over to the left. So take your feet all the way over to the left as far as they'll go. Yeah, and then once you get there, just gently lower your hips down just past your arm. And again, if you're not side bending far enough to get your hips past your arm, put them on your arm. If it hurts, unhook your arms and just drop them down anyway. Just use your exhales here to just release completely. Just let your hips be heavy. No tension anywhere. And then inhaling, lift your hips and walk your feet back to the center. Good. Unclasp your hands and then just lower your hips down. Yeah. Bring your right knee into your chest. Stretch your left leg out. And take a couple, grab your right shin and take a couple breaths here. Every time you exhale, extend through your legs. So you're pushing your shin up into your hands and you're extending down the full length of your leg on the floor. Good. Now take your left hand on the outside of your calf, right arm out to the side, and drop your knee over to the left. Yeah, palm up on your right arm. Good. And then you take a breath here. And as you exhale, just release your right shoulder blade, so let it slide behind your heart. Again, very soft and gentle. And then just tone your belly a little bit to bring your knee back up. And then lower your right leg to the floor and just relax in between sides. And then bring your left knee into your chest, grab your shin, right leg straight on the floor. And then go back to your breathing. So big breath in. And as you exhale, push your knee into your hands and stretch through your leg on the floor. So in addition to pulling it into your chest, you're actually pushing it up into your hands and creating a little resistance there. Good. Then take your right hand on your left knee, left hand out to the side. Take your knee over to the right. Yeah. Palm up on your left arm. And that's just gentler on your shoulders. So I'll just flip your hand on the left side. Yeah. You take a breath in. And then as you exhale, just release your left shoulder blade. Just let it come down behind your heart. So every exhale is just a complete surrender. And then engage your belly a little bit to bring your knee back up. And then bring both knees into your chest. And just have a little rock on your lower back. You can grab your shins and just rock from side to side. And then just stretch your legs out. And we'll go to Shavasana. And like I've said, I think in most of our videos in this series, Shavasana is important. Don't skip it. And in this Shavasana, I'm going to give you something to contemplate. So you've thought for a little bit about what you're proud of, what you've accomplished. And you've thought for a little bit about who you're grateful for, who's helped you to accomplish what you've accomplished. And you've thought about what you want to release to make room for something new. Now I want you to think about what is new. What seeds do you want to plant and nourish and nurture to grow in your life? And while you rest in Shavasana, you to let that dance in your mind. Keeping your body still, just start to deepen and lengthen your breath. And enjoy the sweet filling of each inhale and the sweet release of each exhale. And then begin to move and stretch. Just add a little, whatever your body feels like it wants. And again, it might feel like being still is right, and that's fine. Bending your left knee up, roll onto your right side. Stretch your right arm out, let your head rest on it, and just pause here on your side for a minute. And then placing your hands on the floor, help yourself back up to sitting, facing forward. Fold your hands in front. And just softly close your eyes. And again, I'm going to read from the amazing Pixie Light Horse. Thank you for this perfect day for taking chances. Help me to understand that keeping quiet keeps me small. Guide me to compose my ideas and thoughts without worry about who will respond and how. Help me to open to the rejection or neutrality that may come from expressing my initial ideas and feelings. Show me the real hazards, but keep me from making up artificial ones that prevent forward movement. Help me gather the thoughts that come from my heart. Spread my arms wide, open my heart wider, and let me find out for myself. Grow my options for speaking from love. Help the healing medicine rise to meet my voice. Encourage me to stick my neck out, not onto the chopping block, but to stretch myself to beautiful lengths in order to greet what's ahead. Just bow your head towards your heart. Namaste.